What's up, y'all? Will here at Schedule Fly, and this is another timeless advice episode. Hadn't done one of these in a little while. We had a bunch of long-form episodes, great interviews, and great episodes. We're going to keep these timeless advice episodes flowing through here in between when we have an opportunity to get out and interview people in person or Zoom or however we do it. Particularly over the holidays, I'm a little bit laying low on asking people to commit time to do a podcast right now. We may have a couple more before the end of the year, but we'll probably round out the year with a chunk of these timeless advice episodes. So this one is how a good CPA is as important as good food. And quite an interesting conversation I had years ago for the first book with Richard Taubin. At the time, Richard owned Friends Coastal Restaurant down in Madisonville, Louisiana. And he since sold it. I'm not sure what Richard's doing these days. I don't know if he retired or what, but I know he sold that business and moved along. But this is a great piece of advice here. But before I get into it, a quick word from two of our sponsors. Or our two sponsors, one of them being us, Schedule Fly. If you are on pencil and paper, Excel, or some non-software scheduling mechanism that you use in your restaurant, and it's not working really well, if it's working really well, keep doing what you're doing. I'll be the first to say that. All of us would here at Schedule Fly. But I want you to think about not just how it's working for you, but also think about how it's working for your team, your employees. Do they love the way that the schedule is made and communicated? And is it easy for them? As hard as it is to get people these days, we want to make sure that everything we do for them makes their lives a little bit easier. And Schedule Fly will do that. It'll make your life easier. It'll definitely make your employees' lives easier. And essentially, we just have a very clean, straightforward, crisp, simple, intuitive restaurant employee scheduling software. It's web-based. You start it with a free trial. There's nothing to download. It's all online. 30-day free trial to make sure you love it. You and your team love it. And simple monthly pricing. No contracts, no setup fees, no cancellation fees. And in addition to that, and this is super important to us, we take care of our customers the way you take care of your customers. Genuine, authentic, thoughtful, caring hospitality. And that is something we will hang our hat on every day. We provide legendary customer service. So check us out, schedulefly.com. Our website is our best sales tool. We literally don't have salespeople here. We've been doing this 15 years. We have 5 people in our company. We've had 5 people the entire time, the same 5. And hit our website. It tells a story. And if you'd like to have a conversation, I'm happy to wrap with you. And my cell phone number is right there on the website on the trial sign-up page. So check it out. We'd love a chance to serve y'all if you are interested. So our other sponsor is Flip, F-L-Y-P. And Flip is a very cool mobile banking application. They don't have branches. They have an app. They have a checking account, and they have a rewards-based debit card. Now, most credit cards these days, if not all, it seems like, have some kind of a rewards program, which is great. But does your debit card have rewards? Every time you use your debit card, do you get some kind of a reward? If not, you should check out Flip. And even if you do, you should check out Flip, because Flip doesn't have minimum account balances. Look, banks make you have a minimum balance in your account to avoid fees, simply for the case that they're making money off of that money that's just sitting there, right? Like, that's just how that works. But Flip doesn't have that. They don't have a minimum account balance. They don't have ATM fees at 37,000 ATMs. All those fees that banks find a way to charge, they don't have that at Flip. What they do have is they have a rewards-based debit card. And by the way, more products coming soon in addition to the checking account and the credit card. The debit card. More products coming down the road, but right now let's focus on this. The debit card is really cool because you get this app, you get the Flip app, and you can find Flip at flipmoney.com, again, FLYP, or you can find them in the App Store. You download the app. The app has a little wheel on it, like a Wheel of Fortune wheel, and every single time you use your debit card, you get to spin that wheel. Now, when you spin that wheel, you might get Flip coins, which you can compile and use and purchase things with, or you might get cash back. You might get 1%, 2%, 5%, 10%, 50%, and up to 110% cash back. Legit, no joke. In fact, we have a Schedule Fly customer that recently got 100% cash back on Flip. We have another Schedule Fly customer that got 23% cash back on Flip. So this is really cool. It sort of gamifies your spending. Every time you spend, you get something out of it, some kind of a reward, and it makes it fun. The cool thing is, unlike a credit card, is you're not going to overspend and wind up having to pay interest and all that kind of stuff. There's no annual fees. This thing's cool, y'all. So check it out. You can have your direct deposit put in there. And here's the additional kicker. If you use the promo code ScheduleFly when you sign up on the App Store, all you got to do is spend $100 in the first month, and they're going to give you $20. Spend 100, get 20. Easy. So check out Flip. We know the folks who started it, great people, and we know them well. It's a very cool business. It's well run. It's run by people who actually care about providing a great experience for their customers, providing great customer service, and providing a fun product. So check out Flip. Okay. On to the Timeless Advice episode with Richard Taubin. And Richard said something when I asked about, what's helped him, what had helped make him successful. He said something that, nobody else said this. In fact, nobody else has ever said this that I recall in the nearly 400 episodes we've done over the years about what's helped him be successful. And I thought that not only did he say this, but he really emphasized it. I thought it was very poignant, and it's clearly meaningful advice, and it was in 2010, and it is now. So he mentioned a couple of things about how he treats his employees and so forth, and the type of open door policy they have. But here's what he said that I thought was really interesting. Quote, "Also, after the first 6 months or so, we started working with a CPA. I highly recommend hiring a CPA, especially one who is close to the restaurant industry. They understand what percentages should be as an average. Without breaching confidentiality, they can talk to you about what other restaurants do to combat certain cost structures that you have. Our CPA has been very instrumental in helping us cut cost and in telling us what percentages should be. He recommends the financial applications that we should use and helps us with reading P&Ls, profit and loss reports, how to make adjustments. And that's really helped us out quite a bit. When you can work with CPAs on a daily basis and have them help assure that budgets are aligned and cost controls are adhered to, it's just as important to me as the food you put out on the plate. Without controlling those costs, you don't make money. If you're in it just to make a paycheck, just do it on your own. Otherwise, I highly recommend you hire a CPA and make that a big part of your restaurant. Just as much as you would design a recipe for your food, you need to design a recipe for how you're going to track and adjust for financial costs and profits." End quote. What a great piece of advice. Not a sexy piece of advice. Not something people may think about when they're starting a restaurant or building their restaurant, but a very timeless piece of advice, particularly, and I would emphasize, as he said, find a CPA that works a lot in the industry, and without confidentiality breaches, they can give you an idea of how you compare to others, right? So think through that. What a great thing, and especially going into or continuing in this environment where costs are rising, food costs are rising, labor costs are rising. Getting a control on that stuff is so critically important to the success of the business. So keep that in mind. Explore some CPAs, and thank you for listening. More episodes coming soon. We appreciate you. We would ask if you are listening to this, whatever platform you use, whether it's Google or iTunes or Spotify, subscribe to our podcast. If you have the opportunity on your platform to rate our podcast, we'd be so appreciative. If you take 5 seconds right now, just if there is a rating in there, go and give us a rating. Take an additional 15 seconds if you want to write a nice comment. We'd really appreciate it. And of course, the more ratings we get, the more interaction we get with this podcast, the more that the natural algorithms of these podcast platforms will share this with people that are looking for this type of content, which means more people hear it. And we want this out to as many people as possible, obviously, because this is great advice, not just these timeless advice episodes, but the long form as we do. Our goal is to always provide a place where you can go learn and hopefully get good ideas and good advice. Or as one of our customers and listeners told me once, he said, I listen to it because it's like therapy. You're running your restaurant, you got your head down, you got your blinders on, there's a lot going on. You don't have a lot of time sometimes to pop your head up and talk to other people in the industry and figure out if they're dealing with the same stuff you are. And you kind of feel sometimes like, am I on an island? Like, is everybody else dealing with the same craziness that I am? And then you listen to these episodes and you realize, yeah, they are. So, hey, thank y'all. We appreciate you. More of these episodes coming soon. See ya.